Okay. Might as well get this recorded. I'm gonna try to get some videos done over the course of the week, but I don't know how well it's gonna go since the kids are out for fall break from school, which means they're gonna be home. So I have no idea how that's going to go. So if there are days where I can't get videos uploaded, then that's why. Okay, S5, Hero Party versus Vampire Princess. I don't know much about Sophia, not in this world or in our previous one for that matter. I knew her name there was Shoko Nagishi, but if you asked me what kind of person she was, I don't think I'd be able to say a single thing with certainty. That's how little we've interacted. I don't believe we ever had a real conversation. In fact, the exchange we just had is probably more conversation than we ever managed in our previous lives. I don't know anything about her. Not then, and not now. I don't know what she was thinking when she chose to play a part in all this. What she's done is show complete contempt for human life. She's helped bring catastrophe down on the people who Julius desperately fought to protect. I cannot forgive her for that, so I have to stop her here and now. I draw my sword and charge with fervor, but she easily deflects my strike with her broadsword. She didn't have this broadsword until a second ago when it appeared from her shadow. I thought it might be shadow magic, but that's not quite right. It's probably the effect of some unknown skill of hers. It seems that she was keeping a broadsword in her shadow somehow, too, just like the man called Merizophis who appeared from it not long ago. The huge two-handed sword doesn't seem to suit Sophia's small frame, but she's wielding it with one hand. My body gets blown back as if I weighed nothing at all. I quickly twist around in midair to land on my feet so I don't take any damage at all. However, I can feel the difference in our power, so it's almost painful. I charged with all my might, and she parried and brushed me off easily. It's safe to assume that Sophia has a skill that can cancel out magic, in which case the only way to defeat her will be in a physical fight. And yet, that brief exchange of blows made one thing clear. I can't beat her. Although I can't appraise her, I know the difference between our stats must be huge. But I was prepared for that reality. It's been obvious that Sophia is way stronger than I am since we first met in the capital. But even if her stats are higher, I'll find a way to win. Shun, don't charge in alone like that. Katya steps up by my side. Asaka and I will hold off Merizophis. The rest is up to you guys. Tagawa and Kushitani face off against Merizophis, who readies himself in turn. Shun, I can fight too. Misoka stands up preparing her bow. Anna has finished her treatment, which leaves her free to rejoin the front lines too, as well as Mr. Hirons, who is protecting the pair of them. That's right, I'm not alone. Maybe I can't do this by myself, but if we all come together, I know we can win. Looks like it's 5 against 2. Hope you don't mind. Hirons steps forward, his shield braced before him. Oh, that's fine with me. In fact, let's make it 5 against 1. Sophia shoots a look toward the girl behind her. The girl makes a face, but quickly withdraws. You don't seem too worried. I'm not worried in the least, Sophia responds smoothly. Hoping to take advantage of her relaxed state, Misoka looses an arrow at Sophia. A perfect surprise attack in the middle of a conversation. For a moment, it seems cowardly to me, but I have to remind myself that Misoka is as desperate as the rest of us. Besides, a surprise attack can't be dirty if it doesn't work. Sophia reaches out with her free hand and catches the arrow. Her reflexes are terrifying. There's no need for her to catch the arrow instead of dodging it. Dodging it would have been quicker and easier, I'm sure. But she probably decided to catch it in order to make her overwhelming power that much clearer. However, no matter how clear our disadvantage, there are some fights you can't back down from. Hirons charges, pushing his shield forward. Sophia tosses the arrow aside and grasps her broadsword with both hands. Immediately, a metallic clang echoes in the air. Sophia has caught Hirons' rush attack with her broadsword. Her slim body doesn't falter an inch despite Hirons' heavy equipment. But then Katya and I follow up from either side of Hirons. My sword and Katya's rapier plunge toward her at the same time. Then for a moment, I don't understand what's happened to me. My vision whirls and I slam into the ground, unable to quite control my fall. Confused, I nevertheless leap back to my feet. There's a dull pain in my hand as if it's going numb. When I see Katya and Hirons have been knocked to the ground like I was, and Sophia finishing a swing of her sword, I realize what happened. Sophia used her broadsword to knock all 3 of us back, and all in one swing. It must have hit Hirons first, then followed through to hit Katya and me seconds later. Katya hasn't managed to get up yet, and her rapier lies in pieces on the ground. Sophia must have been aiming at our weapons. My sword managed to withstand the blow somehow, but the aftershock caused serious damage to my wrist. To be honest, it's practically a miracle that I haven't let go of my weapon. But if Sophia had been aiming not at our weapons, but directly at us? The image of Katya and me being sliced in half flashes across my mind. I shudder for a moment. She probably could have done it. Sophia must have deliberately aimed for our weapons to avoid killing us. Misoka shoots more arrows and Anna casts magic at her, but she dodges the arrow with a slight duck of her head, and the magic gets cancelled out before it even reaches her. Oh right, a half-elf, is it? How very unusual. Sophia's gaze turns toward Anna. Hyrant stands up with his shield prepared as if to block her vision, but Sophia still seems to be deep in thought, ignoring him completely. While she's distracted, I charge at her with my sword. But I already know that she's not really distracted. She just doesn't care. Once again, she easily dodges the surprise attack. I was expecting that much, though. I immediately alter the trajectory of my sword, cutting back toward Sophia. Since her broadsword is so large and heavy, it's not built to make tight turns. Judging by what I've seen of her power so far, she could still move pretty quickly with it, but there must be a limit. If we can't beat her with sheer strength, we'll try besting her with speed. I'm willing to bet she outspeeds you too. I move my sword as precisely as I can, carefully controlling my strength. Using as many sword thrusts as possible, I try to keep the movement of her broadsword in check. Sure enough, the long broadsword isn't suited to rapid-fire attacks, and Sophia begins to use the side of her sword to defend herself. Then Misoka adds in more arrows, pressing her even further. This time Sophia has to dodge the arrows since she can't afford to catch them. I pile on even more sword attacks, trying to chase her down. This could work. But just as that thought crosses my mind, I see Sophia's feet move out of the corner of my eye. In the next second, a powerful impact hits my stomach. Oof, ooh, that has to hurt. A grunt escapes my mouth, pushed out along with the air in my lungs. My body is sent flying, but the crash to my back never comes. Looking up, I see Hyrance's face. He must have caught me when I got blown back. You alright? Yes, thank you. I'm not really fine, but I keep that to myself. My stomach is still throbbing with pain as I quickly remove myself from Hyrance's arms. It's obvious what happened this time. She kicked me. I never expected her to be able to throw a kick in that situation. Your aim's not bad, but your swordsmanship is far too prim and proper. You realize that leaves you open to dirty tricks like this, right? Sophia's voice is careless, even bordering on friendly. Silently, I brandish my sword once more. She's right, of course. I have lots of experience from training and fighting monsters, but much less in the way of battling other humans. That means I'm weak to unexpected attacks, and probably easy to read too. Now I'm truly, painfully aware there's a bigger difference between Sophia and me than I thought. It's more than just stats. She's seen a lot more bloodshed than I have and fought in far more real battles. That much is clear despite how brief our exchange has been so far. Close by, I can hear the sounds of Tagawa and Kuchitani fighting Merazophis. However, I can't afford to turn away. I can't take my eyes off Sophia for a moment. If I let my guard down for even 1 second, I have a terrible feeling this will all be over. And yet I can't help noticing Katya's gaze. Still crouching on the ground, she seems to be trying to tell me something with her eyes. Recognizing her intentions, I focus all my thoughts on that moment. Whatever shall I do? I know I'm supposed to kill all the elves except Misoka. Where do half-elves factor into that equation? Sophia hasn't noticed. We're in the middle of a battlefield, but her thoughts are clearly elsewhere without a care in the world. That's when Katya completes her magic. At that moment, I break into a run. Katya was invoking an earth magic spell. Instead of attacking Sophia directly, it makes the ground below us rumble. Sophia's magic nullification ability doesn't seem to work on magic that moves the ground. Instead of attacking her directly, so the spell works. The ground shakes violently, breaking Sophia's posture ever so slightly. I aim for that brief opening. This is the only chance we have left of winning. Sophia welcomes my determined attack with a smile, as if she's mocking us for our pathetic attempts. But then her smile darkens. Flying past me, Misoka's arrow zooms toward Sophia. She couldn't have seen it coming since it was hidden in my shadow. We didn't plan this, but Misoka must have picked up on the opening Katya was creating. Still off her balance, Sophia is unable to dodge the arrow. She has no choice but to block it with her sword, then try to parry me. This time Sophia's smile disappears entirely, because Hyrance's shield has crashed against her sword. A shield throw. Hyrance's shield isn't just armor, it's also an excellent weapon. The weight of the shield alone makes it a superb blunt weapon, and when it's thrown, it's like a cannon. Hyrance's shield strikes just as Sophia is trying to regain her stance after blocking Misoka's arrow. Even she can't handle the impact, and the broadsword in her hand goes flying backward. Now that she's completely off balance, I swing my sword down towards Sophia's body. You really should have gone for the neck just now, don't you think? The bland remark stuns me into silence. My sword has definitely struck Sophia's body. But she doesn't seem hurt in the slightest. It's being blocked by something hard under my blade. When I look at Sophia's neck from incredibly up close, I realize what she means. The back of her neck is covered by something shiny and metallic, just like the hard scales of a worm or a dragon. That wasn't half bad, I'll admit. It didn't work, though. Sophia aims another kick at me. I can't fully defend myself against it, and it knocks me back just like before, until Hyrance catches me once again. But this time I can't pull away from Hyrance and stand up quite yet. I put all my power into that strike. Yes, I avoided her vitals so I wouldn't kill her, but I wasn't holding anything back. Yet that attack didn't cause her a single bit of pain. She has the upper hand in stats and abilities, And yet, we somehow managed to create a brief, perfect opportunity, but now it's been rendered meaningless. If we'd merely failed, we might still be able to create another chance like that, but it won't work again. Magic doesn't affect Sophia, so Anna, whose only means of fighting is magic, hasn't been able to lay a hand on her. If magic doesn't work, our only shot is physical attacks, but an attack with my full strength didn't work on Sophia. That means neither magical nor physical attacks can touch her. If neither of them will work, if her defenses are that invincible, how are we supposed to fight her? For the first time, I feel the horror of being truly helpless. Hold on. Okay. Sophia Karen, the only daughter of the noble Karen family in Seriella, a reincarnation who retains her memories of being Shoko Nagishi, a high school student in Japan. She is actually a vampire progenitor, a being who should no longer exist in this world. Displaying unbelievable power, she often stands in the way of Shun and the others. She serves a being she calls Master. Born to a human family, she initially lived without any contact with demons and the like, but after encountering the nightmare of the labyrinth as a baby, her life quickly becomes very turbulent. Yeah, that's saying something. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Five, machinations in motion. This annoying guy kept bugging the crap out of me, so I maybe kinda sorta killed him. Oopsie! I mean, if he was just being annoying, that'd be one thing, but what do you expect if you're gonna try and attack me? Sure, it was enough of a pain when he kept showing up every day blathering on at me, then getting pissed off before going home for whatever reason. I still don't fully understand the language here, so there were some parts that went over my head, but mostly he was just being snooty and saying stuff like, "You're my pet now, obey me." Yeah, you deserve to die, dude. Like, did you really think that was gonna work? Was this guy right in his head? And then while I'm just staring at him blankly, the guy starts throwing a fit. What was there to get mad about anyway? It's just like with the girl who used to pester me in my old life. Why does me staring at people in confused silence always piss them off? Because they're not getting a reaction out of you, that's why. I don't get it. Then just like as I was getting really sick of this stupid old guy sticking his nose in my business every day, he ordered some of his subordinates to attack me. He probably intended to kidnap me by force or whatever, but I honestly kind of feel bad for the poor thugs he sent to do the deed. They never stood a chance of kidnapping me. Did they know that and set out with a sense of resignation to see their duty through to the end, or were they just stupid? Who knows? Well, either way, I wiped them all out. While I was at it, I wrapped things up by using my evil eyes to dispose of the old guy who sent them. Next thing you know, the town's in an uproar. It turns out this guy was some kind of big shot from another country or something. Since he died in this town, under suspicious circumstances, it could end up being a whole international incident for the country this town is in, I guess. The Lord and his right-hand man look pretty stressed out while they're talking about it. I'm sorry, okay? I guess this is kind of my fault, but look, I don't regret it one bit. If someone tries to get me, I'll get him right back. That's just how I roll. Besides, I'm sure one stupid old guy kicking the bucket isn't going to be that big of a deal. Well, boy, was I wrong about that! It's been a few days since that guy died. Things have taken a bit of an unexpected turn. More specifically, the people are preparing for battle now. Like, what the hell? Why? A bunch of soldiers and stuff have been gathering in town. There's a lot of logistical talk, too. Seems like everyone's ready for a fight. They're totally gearing up to go to war. The only person who seems bothered by this is the lord of the town. It seems like he was hoping to avoid war if at all possible, but instead now he's stuck on the front lines. Everyone else's morale is super high. How did things even end up like this? Well, nothing to do with me, that's for sure. No, it has everything to do with you. It's because you killed the guy. That's why. If you hadn't killed him, this might not be happening. Yep, I've definitely got nothing to do with it. I haven't heard anyone talking about beating down those bastards who tried to steal their divine beast or anything like that. Nope, definitely not. Ugh, unreal. It seemed like the reason for the war is because I off that annoying old guy. His country, which I guess is called Oats or whatever, has always had a bad relationship with this one, which is called Seriella. It seems to be about a difference in religious beliefs or something, but I don't really know that details. So Mr. Cool Guy from Oats is dead. The cause? Me. If he'd just been attacked and killed by some ordinary monster, they might have been able to work things out, but right now Seriella sees me as some kind of divine beast, so it's playing out some sort of like this. Your divine beast whacked one of our guys. What are you going to do about it? Don't play dumb. Your goon tried to lay a hand on our divine beast first. What's that, wise guy? You want to go? Bring it on, asshole. That's just exchange as far as I can tell. They probably weren't talking like old-timey mobsters, but seriously, you get the idea. How stupid can these people get? Don't go to war over something like that. No way! What a half-assed reason. I'm getting culture shock over how easily these people decide to kill one another. I mean, we're not talking about a little brawl here. This is war, all right. Should you really be starting a war so casually? I mean, I guess it's not my place to say that as an outsider, and it's not like I can really say it to them anyway. But I'm not really a total outsider here either. In fact, I'm in the weird position of being both an outsider and kind of involved at the same time. What should I do now? I mean, if they want to go to war, normally I'd say they can go right ahead, but I feel kind of weird about it when it's happening because of me. Right? Right? I know, okay. Yes, I'm technically the cause, but that's really just an excuse. If you think about it, there's no way they'd send such an annoying little man to do an important job like bringing me to their country. The only explanation is that he was a pawn sent here to cause trouble between the two countries. Once that plan went south, they'd use it as a justification to attack Seriella. I guess they got what they wanted. As proof, the Lord who's been working so hard to avoid a war has finally given up. From what I hear, troops are already gathering in Oats. Not only that, but their allies are sending reinforcements too. They're practically champing at the bit. If someone intends from the beginning to start a war, there's not really anything you can say to do to prevent it. And they basically use me as a scapegoat to start their little war. Ugh! I'm not one to go around telling people they can or can't have a war. But if I'm being used in the process, that kind of makes me mad. How am I going to vent this anger? Oh wait! Why don't I just participate in the war? That'd be pretty simple. Oz is the country that used me as a scapegoat after all, and that's who Seriella is about to go to war against. As their beloved divine beast, I can take part in the war to protect Seriella. Yep, that all checks out. Besides, if I go to war, that means I'm going to end up killing lots of people. Humans give a lot more experience points than monsters. Man, I can't say no to that. If you look at it that way, war starts to seem like a great way to grind EXP. I'm nowhere near strong enough to fight the Demon Lord yet. If I want to get a little closer, well, earning tons of EXP experience isn't a bad way to do it. On top of that, if I fight in the war, my fame in Seriella will skyrocket. The more I think about it, the better it sounds. Ignore that, it's my watch going off, give a notification to drink water! If I leave the area of the town, the elves might try to pull something, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. As long as I wipe up all the elves who are in this town before I leave, I'm sure it'll be fine. This plan is perfect. Too perfect. Kinda makes me want to pull a nasty face and go, just as planned. My mind is made up, no turning back now. Time to go to war. So here we are, reporting live from the battlefield. Humans, 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 as far as the eye can see. If I had to put it into words, I'd say it reminds me of a certain kami what's an event that happens in Japan every summer and winter. Comic-Con! As a side note, I've never once set foot in that particular battlefield. This may surprise some viewers, but do you really think I'd be able to handle such a huge crowd of people? Probably not. I would definitely get overwhelmed and pass out. In fact, I feel like I could pass out right now. That's my report for today. Can I pass out now? I mean, seriously? The soldiers started moving as I snuck along to check things out, and bam! Tons and tons of people everywhere. They're all clanking around in full armor and equipment too. At a glance, it's hard to say exactly how many people there are, but both sides seems to number in the tens of thousands. Doesn't that seem like a lot? I activate Professor Wisdom's detection and get a more precise number. On the Seriella side, 42,000. On the side of Oats Alliance, 53,000. Okay, gotcha. About half the size of the Battle of Sekigahara, then. Way too many. Is this real? This is the worry you used me as a catalyst for. Because it kind of feels like an all-or-nothing showdown to me. Oof, this is kind of giving me a stomach ache. Assuming spiders can get stomach aches anyway. Yeesh. This battle is a whole lot bigger than I imagined. I was kind of expecting more of a teeny little skirmish. But look at what I got instead. So much for just popping up to the battlefield and swashbuckling around. If I do that here, it's going to make things real weird real fast. What am I going to do? Not to mention with this many people around, I might seriously pass out. Maybe I could still go home? But right as I start seriously considering that, both armies begin advancing. Even from far away, the echoing battle cries and the shudders send a shudders through my body. Yikes. I fought all kinds of monsters in the Great Elro Labyrinth, but I'd never seen such a huge war between humans before. Based on stats alone, these people are all vastly inferior to me, but their huge numbers, their strength would be nothing to sneeze at. The armies collide. If I stand around doing nothing while trying to make up my mind, Seriella is going to lose. The difference in numbers is too great. I don't know what the troop stats all look like, but based solely on the size of the armies, Seriella is clearly at a disadvantage, and the place where they're fighting is an wide open plain. The armies don't have any fancy formations. They're just charging right into one another. From what I can tell, Seriella doesn't have any way to make up for what they lack in numbers. Their magic attacks from the rear are definitely lightening up the battlefield, but the scale doesn't seem like any enough to phase the Oats Alliance too much. At this rate, Seriella is going to be defeated. If Seriella loses here, I feel like that's going to be a big pain for me. The country of oats definitely isn't going to leave me alone. They blamed the whole war on my existence after all, so it wouldn't look good for them if they did nothing about it afterward. I don't know how they'd approach me exactly, but I doubt I'll be getting worshipped like I have been so far. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. And the easiest way to avoid that problem is to make sure Sariella wins this war. Alright, no time to dilly-dally. Let's do this. Woo! A woman's gotta have guts. No point in worrying about what other people think. I literally leap into action, putting myself in the air above where the armies are clashing. Some of them have noticed me and are looking up, but I just gotta ignore them. Ignore them! Seriously, if I pay too much attention to that, it's all over. Mostly because I would probably faint. I launch magic toward the Oats Alliance forces. My wide-range dark magic attack smashes into their army, decimating their forces in one fell swoop. Ooh, how many did that just kill? About 3,000? Just like that, there's a huge gap in the Oats forces where people used to be. Whoosh, the battlefield falls still. Everyone starts looking at me. Did I mess up? Maybe I went a little too far? An awkward silence settles painfully over the area. The battlefield is dead silent, not including a sound that only I can hear, the sound of me leveling up over and over. Humans really do grant tons of experience. That one attack seems to have leveled me up quite a bit. As I sweat it out internally, wondering what to do next, a noise finally breaks the terrible silence. One of the Oats Alliance soldiers starts running away. As soon as one starts fleeing, others quickly follow suit. The soldiers all scramble to get away as fast as possible. The Sariella soldiers come back to their senses of that. In a panic, they start chasing after the fleeing Oats soldiers. Chaos ensues. Some of them hold out, since they seem to have a good commander. Nevertheless, the tides of the battle have now turned completely in Sariella's favor, just as planned. Yep, let's go with that. My single devastating attack destroyed the Oats Alliance's fighting spirit, leaving Sariella to victory. That's exactly how I pictured this going. So on that note, I think I'll get out of here now. Being the center of attention like this, even a moment longer, won't be good for my mental health. Considering how much the situation has changed, I doubt Oats is going to pull a comeback out of a hat. I'll just head back early and await the triumphant return of the Sariella soldiers. With that in mind, I start to activate teleport, but then, just as I'm about to use it, I sense something teleporting in front of me first. Something's coming. Now I'm really sweating, in a different way from before. This particular feeling is all too familiar. It's the person I met in the middle stratum of the Great Arrow Labyrinth right after I beat the Fire Dragon, that dark man in black. Why would he be coming at a time like this? My premonitions turned out to be wrong, in the worst way possible. Sorry to interrupt your fun. The girl who appears before me speaks in a casual tone. I'm gonna have to ask you to die now, okay? With a big smile, she sentences me to death. The alarms in my head suddenly sound off at max volume. Of course they do, because the person in front of me is the one who's been chasing me around all this time. The Demon Lord Ariel. Oh, that is just perfect. Oh, now Sariella and Oats are both fucked. Because if she starts attacking, everybody's gonna die. Oh, this is just perfect, people. Oh, no. Interlude, the Demon Lord and the Administrator. I've lived a very long life and come close to death plenty of times, but I've never fought such a strange opponent before. I first learned of its existence when I received an emergency request for aid from one of my subordinates, a Queen Teratect. According to the report she sent me via kin control, she was in danger of being eaten by one of her own children. Her soul was being eaten by her parallel minds, but physically, not really. I don't know what to make of that, but from the Queen's panic state, I knew this was no small matter. This came at an important time for me, since I just started working as the Demon Lord. But I can't turn out a request from my precious kin. I immediately went to the Great Arrow Labyrinth to get more details from the Queen herself. This left me even more bewildered. Just as I've been told before, the culprit was one of the Queen's many offspring. It left the Queen's side, evolved on its own, and ended up freeing itself of her control. This is the first time anything that's so unusual has happened. However, it's not necessarily impossible. There are certainly less system bugs these days, but some of them are still hanging around from when the whole thing started. I concluded this must be another bug, and figured the situation would be remedied if I just eliminated the anomaly. But I was naive. I heartily assumed that even if it had evolved a few times, it couldn't be that big of a deal. It wasn't long before I realized my mistake. I didn't entirely understand right away why the Queen had asked for my help. Found it. When I found the individual, I soon realized that it was far more dangerous than I thought. Appraisal brought. My appraisal results drove this reality home. Only rulers can interfere with appraisal. Rulers have ruler skills, and on top of that, they're connected to the system. Even the Queen hasn't reached that position. Wow, that's surprising to me, considering you would think that the Queen Teratect, or at least one of them, out of the 5 that are there, would have. But, oh well. But this individual had done it. Hi there, I'm your grandma. I jokingly introduced myself, approaching in a friendly manner. She's very confused. I think this is when she had started talking to our spider friend, and obviously our spider friend didn't know what the heck she was saying, so she was confused. And then she took it as, hostile. Let's see what happens. Sorry to ask this right off the bat, but could you stop attacking the queen now, please? Hearing that, the creature tilted his head, then waved a leg from side to side. It refused. It must have tilted his head to imply that it didn't know why I would ask such a thing. No, it tilted its head to be like, what? Huh? I see. I suppose I have no choice then. It's not that it didn't occur to me to try to bring the ruler onto my team. However, I judged that it was too dangerous to leave this thing to its own devices. If it wasn't going to listen to me, I'd just have to crush it on the spot. Well, that was a short-lived relationship. Goodbye. With a swing of my arm, I crushed the individual. Ruler or not, it hadn't been alive for that long. Unable to withstand my attack, it died just as about instantly. Or so I thought. But the attack on the queen continued. An attack that eroded the soul directly, which no skill should have been able to do. I killed the source, yet the attack persisted. I don't know what kind of attack tricks it used, but that meant it wasn't dead. Since then, I've been chasing it all over. I've been doing so despite the fact that I'm at a huge disadvantage since the individual is a master of teleport magic. You at a disadvantage? I highly doubt that. Because even with teleport magic, you are so damn fast that it's almost like you can teleport. On top of that, there have been signs that it can track my movements. Even with kin control, I can grasp only a vague idea of where the queen might be, never mind this creature. There's nothing more pointless than chasing something you can never catch up with. And doing something that I know is pointless is incredibly tiring. In the meantime, we lost not only the queen's subordinates, but even my own puppet Terratex. It would be dangerous to keep warring against that thing, yet the all-important queen kept getting attacked with no way of escaping. Then the queen died! Yeah. I had known for a while that it was the most likely outcome, but when I actually lost one of my queens, it tore open a hole in my heart. One of my own kin, who'd fought alongside me for so many years, gone. This was a huge loss. I went to the bottom stratum of the Great Hour Labyrinth when the queen died, and I couldn't even find her body anywhere. Did she eat it? Or did she just destroy it so that nothing remained? My soul trembled. A powerful rage that I hadn't felt in ages burned in my heart. Never. I'll never forgive it for this. I'm going to destroy that thing, and not just because it turned its soul-eroding fangs on me. Luckily, this attack is much weaker than the one on the queen. Even my soul, already on the verge of death, can bear it for now. Huh? Even my soul, already on the verge of death. Huh? Is that something that's in the present that she's talking about? Or is this still in the past? Was she already on the verge of death when this happened? Or, I don't know. You seem to be having quite a bit of trouble. In the bottom stratum, an earth dragon spoke to me with telepathy. It was the guardian of this area, the leader of the earth dragons, Earth Dragon Gakia. Behind him were some of the strongest of the already powerful earth dragons. And I sensed fierce hostility rolling off them toward me. And what if I am? You know if you interfere with me, you'll be violating the pact, right? That was an agreement between you and our Lord. We will obey the Lord's orders, of course, but unfortunately we have not been ordered not to. We have not been ordered not to oppose you. So essentially, we'll follow our boss's orders, but it's not like we haven't been ordered to not fight you. We can fight you. I thought back to the Lord of the Earth Dragons, Ghoulie. Clearly he hadn't disciplined his subordinates properly. How very shrewd. So, what makes you want to fight me so badly that you would even go against your Lord's orders? Do you not agree that it is time for the old to be cold? What's that supposed to mean? A new wind is blowing. You are the oldest divine beast. Oh, so she is a divine beast. Okay. So wait. The oldest one, so that means there's more than one. Who are the other divine beasts? That's what I want to know. Should we elders not withdraw from this world to make way for the new? Was the new wind he was blithering on about that individual I've been fighting? You're joking. So what, then? We leave everything up to the newbies? That's how we got into this situation in the first place. Why else would someone as ancient as me have start getting involved? If so, then this wasn't a joke at all. Did he know why that strange individual was born? There was no way something like that just came out naturally. Not really, no. I had to assume there was a reason behind it. Did these guys know what it was? Eldest divine beast. We cannot understand why you are after that being. However, we infer that you are being cornered. Is that being the one who has cornered you, or are we gravely mistaken? I knew it. These guys knew about that thing. They knew when they had expectations of it. What in the world was that individual? That being's strength is so great that it has managed to defeat our brethren. You cannot simply expect to arrive late on the scene and easily harm it. See, this is the problem with dragons. Dragons, especially earth dragons, value strength way too highly. They respect anyone strong, no matter who it is, even if the strength in question was being used to kill their own kin. Such strength must be treated with reverence. That being especially has grown to be able to defeat our brethren in such a short time. Reverence? For that thing? No way! Those words spilled out of my mouth unbidden. It caught even me off guard. What did I just say? Something felt strange, as if someone else's thoughts had crept into my own. I was being encroached on. Oh, Body Brain's doing it! Nice one, Body Brain! That individual's attack on my soul was slowly but surely eating me from the inside. Me, who rules over gluttony, being consumed. Noticing the irony, I couldn't help but scratch my head irritably. So, are you guys gonna back off or what? The irritation leaked into my attitude toward the dragons. We shall not. We too are old creatures, ripe to be destroyed. I cannot think of a more beautifully fitting stage for our end than buying time against the eldest divine beast. Speak for yourself. I still intend to devour everything. My word was as good as a promise. I took a step forward to devour the earth dragons. That was some time ago now. It's all but impossible to sense the passage of time in the darkness of the labyrinth, so I have no idea how long it's been since our battle first began. Magnificent. Earth Dragon Gakia collapses. I could say the same for you. They really were magnificent. Despite the huge difference in strength between us, Gakia and his Earth Dragons gave me a run for my money. Aside from the unique opponent I'm dealing with right now, it had been quite a long time since I struggled this much in a direct confrontation. I am satisfied. The light fades from Gakia's eyes. His long life has finally come to an end. I gazed at Gakia's fallen remains. I didn't have any particular attachment to him. However, knowing that one of the ancient dragons has perished, I felt a sentiment that's hard to describe. Another one of the elders is gone. It's all the more painful because it was by my own hand. I shake free of the pointless emotion. There's still something that I must do. I must consume Gakia's remains as well as the remains of the other earth dragons. Because the battle took us all over the bottom stratum, the remains of these dragons who fell along the way are scattered in various places. Troublesome though it might be, I must go and retrieve and eat them. It goes against my principle to leave leftovers behind. Wait. That's strange. Have I always had such a principle? No, this is Body Brain. This is Body Brain taking over, girl. Oh dear. Well, it's fine. No, this is not fine. This is not fine at all. My thoughts are diverging more and more from my original self. I feel like something is mixing in with my soul. It's the individual eating away at my soul, the same thing I felt before this battle began. It seems to have advanced significantly during the battle, and yet something feels different. Before I started fighting the Earth Dragons, it felt as if I was being attacked, but now it feels more like we're melding together. We're becoming one. I cannot tell if that is a good thing or not, but in the process, memories of what the unique individual has merged into my subconsciousness. A reincarnation, another world in its life thus far in this one. It's only bits and pieces, but now I understand how and why the individual attacked the queen. Although that does not mean I have any intention of forgiving it, I do not really understand my own condition at the moment. I am me, and yet a part of me is not. And making me question whether I am really myself at all. It is not a good feeling. However, I am still functioning as myself without any issue. At this point, I cannot tell whether I am succeeding in preserving my own self or not, and yet I do not feel too uneasy. The only thought I can summon is a lighthearted, well, it'll work out, I bet. Perhaps even my personality has changed by the spiritual assault now. I may simply feel like myself still, when in reality I have already been all but devoured. To be honest, the part of me that believes everything will be fine frightens me. But obsessing over it will do me no good. Clearly not eating the Earth Dragons is not an option for me now. I am indeed hungry anyway, and considering the effects of gluttony, it would no doubt be best to eat them regardless. Then there is no reason to hesitate. Time to eat. It certainly is not. Someone responds to my soliloquy. Turning around, I see Ghoulie there looking troubled. The dark man, some call Black, the administrator, Ghoulie Distodius. Okay, Ghoulie. Administrator Ghoulie. I'm just going to say Ghoulie because it's just easier to pronounce than that. What are the gods who control this world's system? Which one are you right now, he asked shortly. I blinked for a moment before I respond, which one do I seem like to you? I'm answering a question with a question, but I have no choice, because I myself don't know the answer to what he asked me. Both and neither at once. You have blended together such that I can no longer say whether you are one or the other, though your consciousness appears to be closer to Ariel. Oh man, you think so? I scratched my head with a grin. I had figured as much, but when someone else points it out to me, I can't help thinking, oh wow, yeah. Your tone more closely resembles the other, however. Yep, while I'm at it, I think my thoughts are leaning that way too. Otherwise, I doubt I could be so optimistic. The old me was cautious, even cowardly. The fact that I am experiencing the process of no longer being myself and still simply enduring it is good proof of that. What do you intend to do now, then? I don't know. I really don't. Now that our souls have become so intermingled, it would likely be too late, even if I destroyed the other's real body now. And the biggest issue is that I still have no idea how to defeat that body anyway. It somehow revives itself even if I kill it, and since it has telepathy, it wouldn't be, teleport. It would wouldn't be terribly easy to catch it in the first place. The only reason I was able to catch it before is that I was lucky and that the main body is a fool. I can't catch it by chasing it around, and even if I did, I can't truly kill it. Even if I could, I do not think I could return to my old self. I don't even know if the corrosion would stop. I'm beset on all sides. Honestly, I'm pretty much lost already. It's a 50-50 chance whether I'll retain my sense of self at all, but I don't know if I can even say that if I'm already not myself anymore. In a sense, the being known as Ariel has already been altered. She may already be gone. I would not say that Ariel is dead. I still retain my feelings and memories as Ariel. However, my thought process is very different from how it once was. Given these circumstances, can I really say that I'm still me? It's a question with no right answer. Ghoulie, what is a reincarnation? Putting aside this difficult thought exercise, I instead asked Ghoulie a question he should know the answer to. I suppose the best way to describe them is as guests who have been invited into this world by Administrator D. Invited, eh? Something in me resists that knowledge. All I know of Administrator D is what I've heard from Ghoulie. According to him, D is a god with far more power than Ghoulie. And now, at a time like this, that God has deliberately welcomed new souls from another world. Perhaps D was trying to call a new wind into this world like Earth Dragon Gakia said? To change this world's fate as it careens toward destruction. Well, I don't know what D was thinking, and I don't care. I'm going to get payback, that's all. I will fight against that individual once more. That's all. How likely do you think it is that I'll remain, Ghoulie? 50-50 indeed. At this point, even I can no longer separate your souls. Either way, I believe your existence will live on in some form, but I cannot imagine what that form might be. I see. It seems as though even the one grappling with your soul can no longer stop the fusion of its own will. I cannot tell whose thoughts will emerge victorious. You may even be reduced to a different person entirely when the melding is complete. I hope that doesn't happen. I want to retain as much of myself as possible and resist as much as I can. Well, allow me to make up for my subordinates causing you trouble. I will send you to that creature's location. At that offer, my jaw hits the floor for a moment. Are you sure it's all right, even when it clearly has an administrator's favor? No, it is not at all right. D has specifically instructed me not to interfere with the reincarnations. Indirectly or no, D may decide to punish me for putting a reincarnation in a difficult spot. It seems that lending me a hand is even more dangerous for Ghoulie than I realized. Then why? Ghoulie cuts me off. Nevertheless, I would like to help my old friend's daughter if I can. Old friend's daughter. So, Ariel is his old friend's daughter. So, who's his old friend? The original Divine Beast? I don't know. Aren't you acting cool? Can't you ever show that side to Lady Sariel? Say what you will. Ghoulie begins to form a teleport spell, but come back alive. I'll be careful. Whether I win or lose, I do not know if I will remain myself, but I must win if I wish to proceed. Ghoulie's teleport magic activates, sending me to a different place. When I arrive, I'm at some sort of battlefield. A strange individual is right before my eyes, wreaking havoc on some humans. Sorry to interrupt your fun. I apologize frankly for disturbing whatever is going on here. I'm gonna have to ask you to die now, okay? And then I declare war. Oh, I just realized. I forgot to eat the Earth Dragons. Okay. Okay, Ariel, the original Terratect. The oldest divine beast, the demon lord, and the ruler of gluttony, She is actually the original origin Terratech, the progenitor of the entire Terratech spider monster race, or species. All Terratech are her kin and offspring, directly descended from her, and their souls are all connected to her. However, one of her offspring turned out to be a reincarnation from another world and rebelled against her. This individual used their mutual connection to launch an unprecedented attack directly on Ariel's soul. Her efforts to resist led to them essentially devouring each other's souls until they begin to merge together. So the Ariel that we probably end up seeing later on at the end of the anime is Body Brain merged with Ariel. Okay. Do I want to continue? Let's continue. Okay, 6. Spider versus Demon Lord versus Hero. Huh? No! How did this happen? In front of me is my mortal enemy, the Demon Lord. She's currently attacking me in the midst of the swirl of shrieking and destruction that is the battlefield. There is no longer any distinction between Seriella and the Alliance troops. My battle with the Demon Lord has thrown it on to chaos. Battle? Yeah, you could call it a battle. It's a defensive one for me, but I'm still holding my own. The first time I got blown to bits by a single attack, but my stats have gone up ridiculously high since I absorbed Mother's power. I'm not going to get utterly annihilated like last time, although I still have to be on the defensive. I release a single light magic shot toward the Demon Lord. She already has Divine Dragon Barrier invoked over the area, so I can't put together any complicated magic. That means I can't teleport, and I'd be hard-pressed to use more powerful attack magic than this too. All I can really do are simple one-shot attacks. And since the Demon Lord's high resistances can nullify most attributes, these aren't going to work. My only hope is the light series of magic that I acquired when I was doing all that healing near town. But even if my light magic shots hit, they do only 1 damage, which gets recovered pretty much instantly. The Demon Lord keeps charging at me, paying no mind to the light magic shots hitting her, so I create a wall with earth magic to stall her. Since this magic works on the ground and not an opponent, even Divine Dragon Barrier has a hard time blocking it. A wall of earth rises up, blocking the Demon Lord's charge, but then the wall disappears with a crunching sound. The Demon Lord keeps moving, visibly chewing something as she goes. Then she gulps it down and her SP recovers. Enough of this already! No matter what I do or don't do, it just ends up restoring the Demon Lord's SP. The reason for this is the totally broken effect of one of the Demon Lord's skills, Gluttony. Gluttony, and the power to reach Godhead, allows the user to eat anything and stock it away as pure energy. In addition, the user will gain the ability to surpass the W system and interfere with the MA field. Ruler of Gluttony, acquire skills. Fortune level 1, sublimation, acquisition conditions, obtain Gluttony skill. Effect, increases HP, NP, and SP, plus correction to strength, skill proficiency. Grants ruling class privileges. Description, a title granted to one who has conquered Gluttony. So basically, the Demon Lord can eat literally anything. That means earth or anything else that has substance. No, she can even eat invisible things like magic. Activate Dragon Barrier to counter the Demon Lord's Divine Dragon Barrier. I was hoping this would neutralize the Divine Dragon Barrier somehow so I can use magic properly, but it doesn't work. 1, my barrier is not as powerful as the Demon Lord's, and 2, the Demon Lord can eat mine. She can consume even things that have no physical form and absorb them as her own strength. Considering that she already has cheat code tier stats, the addition of this overpowered skill makes her pretty much unbeatable. I know I can't figure out any way to do it. Damn it! How am I supposed to fight this beast? The Demon Lord swings her arm, slamming it into my body. Ugh, some kind of liquid is coming out of my mouth. That's blood, you idiot! I get blown away so fast it's almost funny and roll along the ground, tangling up with soldiers along the way. The soldiers caught in my path get shredded into mincemeat. If my defense was lower, the same thing probably would have happened to me too. Stats are the best. But I have no more time to appreciate my own high stats. Chasing me down as I roll away, the Demon Lord descends from the sky. I hurriedly avoid her feet as she lands, but the explosion where she hits the ground sends me flying again. Yeah, she drop-kicked the ground so hard it exploded. Look, I don't really get it either. I'm guessing when she landed, it was the power behind it was the shockwave. Excuse me, Miss Demon Lord, are you sure you're not in the wrong story? Because to me, it seems like your character from some power creep-ridden shonen manga has made her way into a fantasy story by mistake. I tumble away from the crater the Demon Lord has made. The soldiers from both sides are fleeing all over the place. Their war basically abandoned. I don't blame them on that one. Y'all better get out of here. Seriously, how did this happen? Actually, the only reason I've survived all the damage I've taken is the people around us. I seem to be gaining experience points for the ones who get killed in the aftershocks. Thanks to that, I get to level up and fully recover. I'm sorry, soldiers whose names I don't even know, your deaths are the reason I get to live. Thank you. Unfortunately, the molting and recovery from my level up aren't perfect since my stats are so high. Now, it doesn't fully heal me anymore, and every time my skin molts off, it trips me up for a few seconds. Basically, there are fewer and fewer people around now for obvious reasons. At this rate, my level up recovery won't be able to keep up with the damage, and I'll lose for sure. I have to find a way to escape before that happens. I am your opponent, monster. A courageous but very young male voice reaches my ears. Honestly, I don't have time to deal with this, but I can't help glancing over to see who's speaking. Then I look again. What is a little kid doing here? Julius? It's an actual child wearing kind of fancy clothes and looking completely out of place. He trembles as he stands in front of me, sword in hand. Huh? What's going on exactly? Somebody please explain. Hero? Julius? Oddly enough, the one who answers my unspoken question is the Demon Lord. She's looking directly at the young boy. Dumbfounded, I appraise the child. Sure enough, much to my surprise, the boy really is a hero. Human, level 14. Name Julius Zagan Anale. Julius, what are you doing in the battle? Why? Why are you there? Was he sent to help Oates? Oh my god. Status. HP. 476 out of 476 green. MP. 497 out of 497 blue. It's MP, sorry. 401 out of 455 red. SP, 455 out of 455 yellow. Average offensive ability, 469 details. Average defensive ability, 465 details. Average resistance ability, 476 details. Average magical ability, 488 details. Average speed ability, 435 details. Okay, skills. Magic power perception, level 10. Hang on, I might need to... Precise magic power, operation, level 1. Magic warfare, level 8 or 9, something like that. Magic power conferment, level 8. Magic power super attack, level 1. MP rapid recovery, level 1. MP minimized consumption, level 1. Swordsmanship, level 1. Or no, level 1, level 7, sorry. I ain't gonna send someone with level 1 swordsmanship, that's stupid. Even if he is a hero. Destruction enhancement, level 6. Cutting enhancement, level 2. Impact resistance, level 1. Mental warfare, level 4. Energy conferment, level 2. Concentration, level 9. Hit level 3, I think. No, level 5, sorry. Evasion, level 5. Light magic, level 10. Holy light magic, level 1. Vision enhancement, level 9. Auditory enhancement, level 8. Olfactory enhancement, level 6. Taste enhancement, level 2. Tactile enhancement, level 5. Life, level 9. Magic horde, level 2. Instantaneous, level 8. Endurance, level 8. Strength, level 9. Solidity, level 9. Monk, level 2. Talisman, level 1. Running, level 7. Hero, level 3. First a Demon Lord, now a hero. Oh, wait, is it just me, or are his stats pretty weak? He's a human, 2, he's a child. I think he's pretty decent for a kid probably his age. I guess they're probably pretty good for a child, but still. In fact, the stats are way better than most of the soldiers around here. That's about it, though. I guess he doesn't have many skills yet because he's still a kid? Okay, now's not the time to stand around analyzing this. What's the Demon Lord doing? Huh? She seems kind of wary of the kid hero. Why? An awkward 3-way standoff ensues with the kid hero, the Demon Lord, and me all frozen in place. I don't know why the Demon Lord's so nervous about this kid. Discreetly booting up Professor Wisdom, I do a search for hero. Hero, as a hidden effect of the title, temporarily grants the ability to defeat a Demon Lord. Aha! Now that's the kind of system loophole I like to see. A Demon Lord is too wary of this hidden effect to lay a hand on the kid hero. I didn't think ability to defeat necessarily means it's a guaranteed win, but now I've got one card to play against the Demon Lord. Yeah, you do. Here's hoping that, you actually survive. Because, you got a lot. Hang on. What time is it? The kid hero's stats are pathetic even compared to mine, never mind the Demon Lord's. However, the Demon Lord is definitely afraid of this weird hidden hero effect. Can I use that to improve the situation somehow? As I contemplate how to do that, the standoff continues. What finally ends it isn't because of me, the Demon Lord, or even the kid hero. No, it's a huge ball of fire falling from the sky. I don't know which army caused it, but are they trying to get rid of all three of us at once? Of course that spell's not going to make it through the Demon Lord's divine dragon barrier, but the kid hero doesn't know that, so he stares up at the flames in horror. The Demon Lord takes that opportunity to move. Specifically, she starts aiming a spell at me. Crap! That spell is bad news. The spell she's invoking is Abyss Magic. Magic that destroys even the soul itself. Abyss Magic is no ordinary attack magic. It has a hidden effect to disintegrating the soul. It's the ultimate execution magic, smashing the soul to bits until it can't be reincarnated again. If that hits me, even immortality won't save me from dying when my soul is destroyed, but I don't have enough time to get away. Stealing myself, I make a life or death gamble. The Demon Lord's Abyss Magic activates, and something that looks like all the darkness in existence condensed into one spot swoops toward me. Unable to avoid it, my body is swallowed up inside the darkness and disintegrates without the slightest resistance. Okay, I'm gonna end this one up here. I'll see you guys in the next video.